My van is kind of going to a tilt here. I can feel my hips being out of alignment. It's getting settled. Waiting for people to come in. And welcoming anyone who should be tuning in a little bit later on these live cams or live streams. They go right after they're live, they're posted, and you can watch them and comment at any time. I'm hoping I solved the glitch of none of the comments not transferring from, I'm coming to you from StreamYard, which connects to YouTube. And supposedly it does give me some tools that I have been told that will come in handy as I keep going with these live streams and learning more and more. Another thing that I do, and I'm going to ask actually how this is coming along, you might mention it in the comments, is that these live streams are going to be 30 minutes long, and the last 5 minutes I'm going to take us out with a guided visualization so that you might have a moment of peace before you get on with the rest of your day. And every week it's going to be the same meditation, because I have found that familiarity helps the mind to allow a deeper experience. And it's not quite 10 o'clock yet. Got 2 minutes. And I just felt like I needed to rehearse all that first. And now I know that next week it might only take 2 minutes instead of 5 minutes to relate all this information right up front to you before people arrive. Hopefully people will arrive. I've got my screen way far ahead. So in order to highlight, let's see, maybe I need to get in here too. Eugene, stop. Hi, I'm getting ready to start my live stream. Okay. Imogene. That's it. Come on, love. Come get your treat. Yeah. Okay, everything's happening at once. Imogene needs her treat. Okay. Let's see if we can multitask here. Anybody here yet? No. Turn off the timer. Okay. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. Gotta wait till later. I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. Get comfortable again. And I guess just start speaking until unless someone comes up. And where I'm going to start is when deciding that I'm going to be on this live stream. what would I talk about if no one showed up? And it was the willingness to show up even if no one shows up. That's the practice. That's the practice of getting oneself out there. And so here I am. And what is mostly on my mind is I'm getting ready to upload the story for that I publish on Thursdays. It is exploring just my connection with the South and my travels within the South and allowing all kinds of stuff to percolate that I've been thinking about for years and years, and that I'm at this point trying to share what I've been thinking about for years and years. And let's see, who do we have? Hi, hello, hi, Iris. Let me see if I can get on here now that someone's here. Live. I guess maybe I have to go to, what do I do? Do I go to YouTube? YouTube. Not that. Videos. Live. Stop. Huh. It's not doing it. Not showing up. Are you on YouTube, Iris? Stop it, Imogene. I'm not sure how I get into live like I did last week. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Hi, Spirit Junkie. Hi. Oh, I'm going to have to move up. Tag on it because I can't do my... Well, how am I going to do this? Could somebody... good morning, Robin. You're on YouTube. Okay. Let me look. But I wonder if I go to my account, view channel, live. Hey, my account, view channel. I got it. Hey, my account. Okay, now I can see and I can maybe move back. Okay. Oh, thank you, Spirit Junkie. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I was just saying that I was, what if nobody showed up? And here you are, yay. So I'm just going to kind of go back over a little bit. I'm going to do this. The plan is to do this 30 minutes for 30 minutes. And the last 5 minutes, I thought that I would do a guided visualization so that we could all just kind of, sign off and sit for a moment or two. And before we go on with our busy days. And in that way, we can all kind of have be on the same wavelength of that. What do you think about that? So did I set my timer? Did I set my timer? Yep. Okay. Okay. So does anybody have anything that they want to ask me about last week's story? I was starting to talk about this week's story. I'm not sure how that's going to go about. But what would you like? What are we gonna do today? I'm hoping we'll find some sort of a rhythm that works for all of us. Good morning, Karen. Good morning. Thanks for thanks for tuning in. I'm looking at this is where I'm not sure how to proceed because I don't know what it is that I have got all kinds of stuff percolating that I could talk about, except for it's so much easier to know if I'm going to be the only one talking, that it's something that you all want to hear about. But what did you think about? Let me just say, what did you think about Ruth Ann and Stacy and the whole Dolly Parton thing? That was not that just I feel came out so unexpectedly beautiful. I was really happy with that, how that story came out. No questions. Don't want to know anything about anything. Well, I consider myself to be a lifelong learner. I am constantly looking to learn. Okay, thank you, Karen, for being the lead goose here. Tell us what you have learned in your time on the road. Okay, tell us what you have learned about your time on the road. First, I'd say that I've always viewed myself as a capable person. Being on the road has taught me that I am even more capable than I thought I was, and that's not to say. And I'd say in that capability resides me knowing where I'm being too risky. Instead of saying yes to lots of things, but I've gotten under my belt a pretty good idea of whatever's being proposed, if it's something that I'm willing to, or I'm ready to expand my, um, my leap into the unknown, something that might be a little bit risky. But I've had a lot of opportunities to make decisions and then later find out that they were absolutely the right ones. So trusting my intuition, and also being open to that I'd say is the most profound thing. I'm not afraid as I'm not afraid. Yeah, that's a big one. And the story that I have, and the stories that are percolating out right now is, I basically view everything about us on a spectrum, and including, fear being at one end and love being at the other end, and living emotionally along that spectrum for me puts it um, like in a way that I can understand. Why am I always trying to make up new words? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So I have learned to. Oh, yes, I've learned to trust myself. Yes, yes, and yes. That is that. Yes, absolutely. And that I think just leaks out into everything, and it helps me to trust other people too. Actually, um, let's see. Robin is asking me where I am and percolating the coffee time. Oh, okay. And do I eat pancakes? I do eat pancakes, but it's not my first choice or maybe even my fifth choice. Every once in a while, I just have just a craving for one, but not mainly. In the morning, right now, I'm in a loop that I never, usually I like to really vary my diet, but for my breakfast, I'm in this um, loop of an egg and some hash browns and a half a grapefruit um, and once in a while I'll get like plant-based bacon or sausage just for a little thing. But maybe it's being in the South. I just want those simple breakfasts that fill my belly until the afternoon. Yeah. So oh, Spirit Junkie. I thought last week's story was a beautiful way for the universe to say, I have greater plans for you than you can imagine. And when things come together like that in a story, and more, they just are, I really feel like I'm learning to surf it a little bit more. I'm my editing um, abilities and skills and my storytelling. I can see a story happening, even if I don't know, what it's going to be. All that is very, very exciting for me. And if life has more plans for me than I can imagine, bring them on, bring them on. Yeah, yeah. Like I have the gate up, so she can't get out. And of course, I got absorbed in this, and I didn't realize that she just went through it, just went around the edges, nosed it up a little bit. But she is in a safe space here. She can run anywhere she wants. She can get inside my friend's house that I'm at. I'm in the Front Royal area, and so it's very wonderful for her to be here. She just occasionally still barks because she's the protector of the nest. Good morning, Tracy. Nice to see you. It's nice to see you. What's going on? Surf. Surf. Okay, Spirit Junkie says, "Surf. Good way to put it. I always say I'm tubing down the river. If life gets if life I get off and take lots of stress. Oh my gosh, planned and unplanned. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to put this up here so you can see it. Or let me see if I can reach my little thing. And, ooh, yay. Surfing. Just surfing the days. Just surfing the days. Yeah. And tubing down the river. That is a fun thing to do. Is tubing down the river. I haven't done it for years, but um, yeah, you're planting a seed there, Spirit Junkie. I am water based. Maybe I'll tube in a pool, but I love and have done it in a river before, and it's really fun. Um, Hi, Tina. Nice. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna. Um, yes, I'm. Spirit Junkie. Yes, so I'm going back to my hometown this summer. I am. I am. Um, It is Worcester County, Maryland, which includes Ocean City, Assateague National Seashore Park, Snow Hill, which is the county seat. And I am going to actually I'm refilling my coffers. And so I have an editing job. And I'm also, when I am in my hometown, I'm going to be going back to Assateague Outfitters and doing some retail work for them. I told them that I'm not sure if I'm still strong and everything, but I'm not sure that I am up to carrying kayaks, off the racks down to the beach and back up at the end of the day and all that, physical stuff. So I'm going to be working in the retail shop. So if you're in the Assateague area and you're on Assateague National Seashore Park, Assateague Outfitters is the concessionaire. They have a bike shop right at the visitor center before you go over the bridge. There's a beach hut. I do believe since the last time that I left them that they also have gotten the concession for the snack bar, which is in, I think, the Maryland part of Assateague, which is, they're connected. And then there's also the kayak rentals on the island. So if you're over there, stop in, say hey. I'm going to be picking up some hours, and really looking forward to being back there and seeing friends and family. Let's see. Tracy, you love the Eastern Shore. Spent a lot of years in DC, Maryland, Virginia. Yeah. Yeah, it's all connected there. All connected there. Everything is close within 100 miles or so. And now that I've been out on the road, well, I'm in my 4th year. 100 miles is like nothing anymore. And I was just looking at I am getting ready to pay off my van, my Nest, in September. It will be totally paid off. And I've already set up my savings account to put that money into a separate savings account for whichever next. And so I was thinking about how many miles I put on this van in the past 5 years. And it is just about 100,000 miles. So divide 100,000 miles, which sounds like a lot, over 5 years, that's only 20,000 miles a year. So I know that just tooling around in my, in my travels in Worcester County and, in the area of DC and all that, that it was easy to put on 20,000 miles a year. So I'm feeling like I'm not totally, abusing my little nest here and all that. So I'm going to look back here again. Let's see. Tracy, 6 weeks for retirement. Woo woo! Looking at in the Southwest, not the rusty Northeast. Yes, yes. Back and forth between my heart and mind about making the jump, mostly the money outlay. Yes, yes. I totally get all that, Tracy. But here's just one thing that I want to say to you is that the best investment that you can make, because nothing else, we can't take anything, we're not taking anything with us that is physical, that is around us. And so it's always been my feeling is that the best investment we can make is our investments in ourselves. And that's the way that I look at it. And so along the way, I've learned a lot, and I know a lot just by investing in myself through education, through opportunities, through work and things like that, meeting people. So, and here's just another little thing that is popping up, and it's a saying that my mom told me um, when I was talking about having children. It's like, well, when we buy the house and we got the company going all pretty good, then we'll have kids. And my mother said, if you wait until you think you're ready, you're never going to do it. And I took her advice at that point, and I'm so glad that I did. Okay, let's see. Oh, Spirit Junkie is asking. Oh, you do? Spirit Junkie, you live on the East Coast? Cape Cod trips were magical. Oh yeah, yes, yes. And here's the thing now in these days driving up to Cape Cod is that the roads and the bridges are much lower, like 8 feet. I'm 10 feet, and it zigzagging my way up that way for a wedding a couple of years ago was quite the adventure, and not I didn't tear anything off or go under any low bridges. Um, oh, thank you, Karen, for that. Thank you so much, Karen. I so appreciate it. Um, um, I thank you. Um, And now I'm going to go back to Spirit Junkie says, may I ask, no need to answer if you're not comfortable. Why didn't you go all the way up to Alaska? Um, but it definitely seemed different than intended. And you are absolutely right. And and I did wrestle to the extent that I wrestle with my choices. Is is that when I talk, when I decide plans to go to some place, I am looking for more of the essence of what I want to feel like when I'm there. And when I got to BC, really was, and this is the honest to God truth. I looked on the map from where we were going up into Montana to where Twin Lakes was in Alaska, and it was like, oh, it's like that far. And fortunately for me, Stan wanted to be, that was traveling with me and wanted to be the navigator, and so his intention was to go on this trip and slow down instead of rushing from place to place. But he felt torn because my wish was to go to Twin Lakes. So, but very early into that trip, we talked about just this, just this discrepancy about, um, what we were saying that we wanted. And, and Stan was amenable to where we were too. He was digging the, the I believe we were in Alberta first before we went over to British Columbia. And so I was getting, if you look at my former stories about Richard Pruneke, it's what I was fascinated with his nature. To me, that felt like one of the first YouTube channels, is that he set up a camera and how he built his cabin, and how he hunted and how he did this and how he did that. And he also, he used what he had to make this work, because he was so secluded. When something happened, it wasn't just running down to the local store. Um, Even if it's like 7 or 8 o'clock and you want to go get something, most places you can do that. And where Richard Pruneke for 30 years, chose to live in a place. And as he got older, of course, he left. But the essence of that, Stan and I were already doing on this trip. And so we did poke our toes into Hyder, Alaska on July 4th. We were next to, oh, forgive me, I can't think of what it is, but right next to Hyder, Alaska. But then, they butt up against each other. And so I did go into Alaska, and I felt it was a matter of honor that I at least did that. But the adventure and the, um, in that story, I came across, because we were there earlier in the day, I came across for their July 4th, they were going to have a axe throwing contest for the men, and the Bushwoman Open for the women. And it was like in a field behind a hotel that, I'd been there for a really long time. I'm pretty sure it was open, but in a field, and you kind of went back, and they set up this little obstacle course type of a thing, and it was wonderful. Go back and read that story. I'll put the link to the ones that I'm talking about now. But anyway, the same thing happened at Dollywood. Is that for the whole week, Dollywood. I've been thinking about for months after a couple of years ago, my daughter and I listened to Dolly Parton's America on Radio Lab, the podcast, and I've just been intrigued by her guiding force as someone who lives at the optimistic end of the love fear spectrum. How she was able to become so visible, and get what she wanted, and manifest what she wanted, and help her fellow musicians, and inspire us, and the way her songs evolved from hard times to very optimistic anthems now. But when I met Ruth Ann, and I'm sure Stacy will also say this, is that Ruth Ann embodies the spirit of which I believe also is where Dolly's coming from. So that was the story. Oh, the timer says that we've been at this for 25 minutes. But I have a couple of things that sure enough. Robin says connection and trust helps me to follow where the source leads me. Love, absolutely. Thank you, Robin, for sharing that. Um, that's why I brought it up. So Spirit Junkie says, yes, that's why I brought up unexpected redirection with and peace with it. Yes, that's right. That's right. So many times now, I am faced with situations that before I would say knock me like one of those weebly wobbly toys that you hit it, or even a punching bag. You know, it goes down, but it comes back up again. Is that you know, I would be down for a while before I could uh, roll things around in my mind to a way that I could be with it. Um, and so that's always been something I've done. But now I'm actually using these exercises to heal from it. And I guess I have all along. And I think that that's why you're here, kindred spirits. So, uh, again, in the spirit of trying to keep this within the 30 minutes allotted so that we can go on with our days, I'm just going to ask you to take a comfortable seat. I'm going to put down my pencil. Oh, all right. And I want to thank you once again for hanging out with me today. I will see you next week at 10 o'clock. And then after that, with my acetate job um, kicking in, I think that there's at least one Wednesday that they have me scheduled already. So we're going to work with that. We are going to dance with that. And so that is the thought that I'm just going to like release into, let it evaporate into a white fluffy cloud. And I invite you to allow any last thoughts that you have just evaporate into a white fluffy cloud. Nothing important is ever forgotten. Whatever comes up for you or presents itself is absolutely perfect. You are safe and sound. And as you let that thought evaporate and drift off, know that nothing important is ever forgotten. And then take another deep breath in, bringing with that your empty thoughts back into your body. Infusing you and focusing a little bit of thought on our lungs still breathing, our heart still beating, and how miraculous that is that we don't have to think about that every second. So just continue to breathe. If you find yourself thinking about something else, no worries. You know the evaporation technique, letting that thought rise into a white fluffy cloud and drift off. Nothing important is ever forgotten. And now I invite you to call your spirit back from wherever it is, bringing with it cosmic wisdom and unconditional love for you. And feel this entering the animating force within you. and immediately begin to expand into physical form. The stardust of which we are all a part, the drops of water in this ocean of life of which we are all included. This cosmic wisdom and unconditional love for you is now infusing your body. Every molecule knowing where to go. Growing your bones, your muscles, your nervous system, your heart, and your magnificent mind. Nurturing and nourishing. And feel this animating force pressing up against the edges of your body and then easily slipping through, surrounding you with a golden bubble of light. Mind, body, and spirit aligned in this perfect present moment, the only space where infinite possibilities reside.